I'm going to show you a different way to preserve our delicious Louisiana specialty crop of strawberries. We have our jam and jelly maker here that we're going to use to help expedite the process there. So first we're going to take our pectin and we're going to sprinkle it evenly all over our pot there. And this is about 3 tablespoons there. So as you can see, we're going to coat it really, really good so that it gels and solidifies our jam like it's supposed to there. Next, we'll take our strawberries and we'll pour it all around the pot to make sure that the pectin is evenly distributed and that it's going to coat everything well. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of butter, and this is just to prevent any foaming action that may occur. So that's why we added the butter here with our strawberries and our pectin. Now that we've added all of our ingredients to the pot, we're going to just simply press jam and enter. And as you can see, it automatically set for 21 minutes. Now the stir is doing its job. As you can see, it's mixing all of our ingredients together so that the recipe is followed exactly to a T. Now, after we wait for the 4 beeps, that's when we'll add the sugar in. Now we're going to simply add the sugar. This is 1 cup of sugar. So for this particular recipe, we are focusing on low sugar content. And as you can see, it is still mixing. And so for the remainder of time, we'll go ahead and put the glass lid on. We're just simply going to let the machine do its job. Now that the process is complete, we're going to remove the glass lid. Now we're going to take our ladle and just get some good amounts here and fill it up in our half-pint jars. And the jars are hot, so you don't want to pick them up and lift them over the pot while you're getting the product out. And as soon as the process is complete, you want to go ahead and make sure that you start the preservation process immediately so that you can follow food safety protocols. Okay, so now that we've properly filled our jars, we're going to measure the headspace. For this particular recipe, it's going to be 1/4 inch. So you just put it right there on your jar and make sure that nothing is too high, that it's not too high and not too low. So we're good with the headspace. You don't see many air bubbles, but if you did, you can simply take the end of your tool and just go around the entire jar there to make sure that you clear it all out so that all of the space can evenly fill out your jars there. Now we're going to take either a wet paper towel or a wet rag and just simply clean the rim of your lid so that everything can securely go on as it should. And remember, the jars are hot, so you don't want to burn yourself, so just lightly touch it. And next we're going to take our magnetic wand here and simply place everything on and make sure that they're on there securely. And now we're going to take our rings and apply them fingertip tight there. And remember, we don't take a lot of time to process our jams and jellies, so you want to make sure that you pre-sterilize your jars for food safety measures. Now we're going to place each of our jars here on the elevated rack. And as you can see, the water is simmering. It's at about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to make sure that it's at the proper temperature. And make sure as you're moving the jars to the elevated rack that you keep your hands steady so that none of the product ends up on the rim. Now we're going to lower the elevated rack into the water and make sure that the jars are covered. We're going to place the lid on. Now that we've placed the lid on, now that it's boiling, that's when we're going to start our 10-minute processing time. Now that we've properly processed our jars, I've turned the heat off, and now we're going to remove the lid and let this process for an additional 5 minutes. Now we're going to simply remove the jars. Now that we have removed our jars from cooling, we want to make sure that if anything is loose, we don't want to retighten. You want to leave them as is. Let them cool for an additional 12 hours before you check the seals, and be sure to label and store them properly. Remember, whenever you're canning and practicing your food preservation techniques, you want to make sure that you follow standardized recipes, for instance from USDA, from Ball, or even from your local extension offices. By following those standardized recipes appropriately, you can be sure that you have preserved your products safely.